Welcome to the Weekly Consciousness. We in the week of Korach, the parasha called Korach. And let's start the class. We're gonna talk about the weekly portion. It's connected to jealousy and evil eye. And also we're gonna talk about how we label things in our life, which is so powerful. It's connected to the weekly portion, connected to the month that's coming up, the month of Cancer. So a lot of amazing insights that we have. Today, let's start with a meditation. We can all close our eyes, take a deep breath. Center your consciousness in your heart and go to the middle of the earth. Pull up new, fresh energy from there. Imagine it's filling up your entire body, filling it with new, fresh energy. And then you want to see that there is a beautiful ball of light above your head. Try to notice what color it is. And then imagine and pretend that you're in this ball of light. And you want to send this ball of light above your body, above your head, above the building you're in, above our planet, through the entire universe, going through layers of light and dark, getting up to a very bright layer of light, going higher to a golden light, and then to a jello-like layer, and then going up to the plane of a creator. We want to dedicate this class to help us connect more, connect to our own potential, create more light in our world, in our universe, remove any negativity, transform it, turn it into blessings in our life and opportunities, and create more love, more unity, more peace, more abundance in our lives and in the world. Okay, so we are in the week called Korach. That's the weekly portion. And just to let you know the 1% story, it's a very interesting story. So right now, the stage that the Israelites are in is they're in the desert. And basically Moses is the leader of a generation. And then his son, his older brother, Aaron, is the high priest of the whole nation. And what happens is they also had their cousins and their relatives who were part of the Levite tribe. And one of them was Korach. He was actually the richest man in the whole nation. He knew where the treasures and where Yosef Tzaddik buried his sustenance, his wealth, and he was able to basically take that, and he was the wealthiest man in the whole nation. And it says that all of a sudden he started to feel like he wants more, and he started to experience jealousy. He started to be jealous of his cousin Aaron and Moses, and he was very open about it. And he comes to them directly, and he says, you know, I feel like you are taking way too much for yourself. I don't think you're being fair. And I think you need to start to separate your duties and the things that you do and hand it over to more people. And especially to me, you should hand over the priesthood and the high priesthood to me. And to make the long story short, it's a very interesting story, but eventually Moses, obviously being a man of humbleness and true leadership, he doesn't tell them to go away. He immediately addresses and asks the Creator and asks what he should do. And the Creator tells him, you know what, make sacrifices, make offerings, you, Aaron, and all the people that are complaining and bringing up this issue, let them also bring a sacrifice, and whoever's I will accept, that's the one that will be right, and the one that I will not accept, they will obviously be not on the right side. And what happens is that they actually, all the people, it's exactly 250 people that were complaining against Moses and Aaron, all of them are swallowed up in an earthquake and burned. So they go through like a really intense experience. So they don't just they don't just like, they're not just proven wrong, but they actually basically burned alive, and also everything that belongs to them goes through earth and becomes completely destroyed. So many lessons from this story. The one, it's actually very interesting that in the commentaries, it's written that it was Korach's wife who was really telling and nagging him and telling him, why isn't he in this position? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he the high priest? So first lesson is obviously that first, the power of women, that actually, even though the story is about Korach and Moses and Aaron, the person who was pushing him was his wife. So the role of a woman in a relationship, that woman can push the relationship towards more positivity or more negativity. And in general, in any partnership, when there's two people together, that make sure that both partners are pushing the relationship into the right side, into the right direction. And in a bigger picture, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria actually tells us that the most of the souls that are here right now, they originate from Abel and Cain and Abel, who were the first children of Adam and Eve. And most souls, most of us, come from that, from those two souls, from the soul of Cain and from the soul of Abel. And especially, the story of Cain and Abel is that basically it says that Cain was actually a very connected, more elevated soul, but his offering, the contribution that he made to the Creator, was not accepted, and Abel's was. Even though they had different contributions, etc., he was also, Cain was jealous of Abel, also jealous of him, and eventually he kills him. It was the first murder, the first death that was recorded on earth was between Cain and Abel, and Cain did not even know what he's doing. He hit his brother with a rock and basically killed him, and he didn't even know what's going on, because it's supposedly the first murder that ever happened on this, in our world, on this planet. And it says that the soul of Abel reincarnated, and especially reincarnated into the soul of Moshe. So Moshe was the reincarnation of Abel. And Cain reincarnated as three different people. The first one being Yitro, which is Moses' father-in-law. The second one is there's a story between Moses and an Egyptian that Moses destroys actually with a combination of letters, with the Yud Kaf Shin. Rabbi Yitzhak Luria says he used Yud Kaf Shin to completely destroy a person because he was pure negativity, purely evil. And the third is Korach. So he reincarnates into three, his soul splits. That's what, that's laws of reincarnation. If you've studied it, that a soul can actually split into many different people. It doesn't have to be into one. So we can be a reincarnation of a part of a soul. You're not necessarily a full soul. So, but at the same time, we are all broken parts of a whole big vessel, a whole soul. So the part of the soul that reincarnates into Yitro, which is Moses' father-in-law, does his correction, because Cain was actually jealous of Abel because Abel had two wives and Cain had one. And because of that, Cain basically gives his daughter to Moses, and he does that tikkun, he does that correction. The Egyptian that was destroyed also did his correction, because there was absolutely no positivity. And whenever there's no positivity, it should be transformed and sent directly back to the light. And that's what Moses did. And Korach was the one who could have done his tikkun, but because he was also jealous, He was jealous of the wealth and the contribution that Moses and Aaron were doing, the sacrifices. He was jealous, and he basically lost. He also didn't do his tikkun. So we are reading about somebody who didn't get the message, who didn't get his tikkun right. He didn't know what to do. He actually did the opposite. He, instead of doing his tikkun, he fell so far into the lowest parts of reality that it says that every Friday night we actually meditate on Korach and all his friends and all the souls that were with him to elevate them, because it's one of the corrections of the world that we're still doing. So there's many lessons. The main lesson, obviously the most classical lesson that the Kabbalists always teach in this week's portion, is the connection, is the whole idea of jealousy, of being jealous of other people, being jealous of what other people have, being jealous of what other people possess, just being jealous in general. It's not a quality, it's not a attribute that you want to have in you. But at the same time, the Kabbalists teach that jealousy increases wisdom among students. So which one is it? Like, should you have jealousy or no? And there's two kinds of jealousies. One kind of jealousy is when you're looking at someone and you're like, wow, I wish I had that. I wish I had that house. I wish I had that car. I wish I had that job. I wish I had that money. I wish I had that family. I wish I had that, this, and this, and this. I wish. This is the kind of jealousy that's not going to bring you anything. That's only going to bring more chaos, not just to you and to the person, but actually to the environment, because it causes damage to the entire world. It causes damage to reality. And it actually causes earthquakes, which is what happened in the desert. But it actually, it could happen in our physical everyday life. Now, but why does Kabbalah teach that jealousy also increases wisdom among students? What's the answer? What's the connection? How can it serve us? If I am a jealous person, what should I do? We all have jealousy, right? Every single one of us has some sort of jealousy. So the actual answer is, when you see something that you would like to possess, you actually, in your mind, first of all, you have to notice it. You have to find out and see that, wow, I'm being jealous right now. That's not something that I want to, expand and entertain. But you actually say in your mind, I want to have the qualities of that person that helped them get it. The qualities, the attributes that that person has to achieve whatever it is that they achieved. That's one. And the other, the ultimate consciousness to have whenever we experience jealousy, is to say, I don't want that. I want 1,000,000 times more. I don't want that. That's so limited. Whatever it is, a car, a house, a relationship, family, whatever it is, you don't settle for that limited amount. You say, I actually want everything. I want absolutely everything. Not to limit it just by one small thing, that I just want a Rolls Royce. No, you don't just want the Rolls Royce. You want everything. You want so much more, much more than just that limited small physical thing. And also, if you want more wisdom and you see somebody who has more wisdom, you should say, yes, I am jealous of their wisdom and I want to have more wisdom. But I need to understand that in order to have more wisdom, I need to put in the effort. And if I put in the effort, also with the same thing in everything in our life, if I put in the effort, then I will have that light. Then I will create the vessel. Then I will create the potential, the ability to receive that light into my life. So that's one. The other idea is the idea of, obviously, evil eye, because also jealousy is very close to evil eye. And that's something that we need to be very careful about onto ourselves and onto others. And whenever I'm jealous, whenever I'm like, oh, I wish I had that, or I judge somebody else, or I think in a certain way about somebody else, or most importantly, is also about me. If I say things, wow, I am so great, like this is so amazing, all the things that I have, all the things that I'm experiencing, this is so great, this is so amazing, I made it, I did it. If you have that, you're actually causing evil eye unto yourselves. So the way you prevent that is obviously always to have the consciousness that everything comes from the creator, and to thank the creator that the creator gave me this, that this is all just a gift. Everything is a gift. No matter how much you feel like you earned it, like you created it, in reality, everything in our life is simply a gift, simply a gift. And then there's also the beautiful consciousness of being, Kabbalistically, there is a beautiful prayer that we only say during the 10 days of repentance. It's called Avinu Malkeinu, which means Father the King. And it's a little bit strange the way it's worded, is because are you referring to the creator as your father or to your king? And the real answer is, it's that you should be in two places at the same time. It depends on the situation. Whenever you have to do spiritual work, change, transformation, you should look at it as if you are the son of the creator, or the daughter, etc., an offspring of the creator. Meaning, like, wow, I get to do this, and I'm doing it with so much love, with so much appreciation, with so much care. And whenever you receive something in your life, you feel like you should feel like you're a slave of the king. Meaning, like, wow, I didn't do anything to earn this. I didn't do anything. It doesn't matter what I've done. I haven't done anything to earn this gift. And I feel like a slave who's been sent a gift. So that's another beautiful lesson. Now, with ourselves, whenever we are receiving something, or we're noticing whatever we achieved, we should always say, it's all from the creator. Thanks to the creator. Yes, I did input, but at the same time, it's all from the creator. And then there is a Kabbalistic term, obviously, that we all say in the center a million times, is bli ayin hara, meaning without evil eye. And it's actually a good thing to say, that we use this term, that whenever we say, oh, that's a beautiful car, and you want to say, wow, I don't want to cause any evil eye on this person, you say bli ayin hara, meaning, like, thank God. Like, wow, that's amazing. And onto yourself also, you did something good, you say bli ayin hara. I don't want to put in any ayin hara on it, or evil eye. Bli ayin hara means, bli means without, ayin is eye, hara is evil. So with no evil eye. So that's one simple trick. Now, another thing is called psychic attacks, or spiritual, yes. So another thing is called psychic attacks, or also spiritual hooks, which is something that could happen. And we're going to do a meditation to release us from it today, to elevate them all from us. And it's something that whenever we experience those things, we create like hooks, like spiritual hooks with different people that we don't want to possess. And in ultimate reality, if you look at it from the big picture, from the real perspective, whenever you are jealous of somebody or jealous of something that somebody has, you're actually being jealous of yourself. Because in big picture, we're all one. We're all one entity. We're all one unit, all one body. So whenever I am jealous of somebody else, I'm causing damage, again, only to myself, really. In the big picture, I'm only causing damage to myself. I should use this energy as a motivation to say, wow, okay, what can I do to achieve that I'm craving, that I want, but in a spiritual way, in a way that it will last for me and for others also. Okay? So again, it's something that, especially in the month and sign of Cancer, water signs, it says that water signs are much more on the a little bit jealous side. They tend to be a little bit more jealous because they tend to be more closed and introverted. So they kind of can have a whole experience inside and not express it. And we're coming into the month of Cancer, right? We're coming into the month and sign of Cancer, and meaning we're all going to be a little bit more like Cancers. So we'll talk about that in next week, how to be the positive Cancerian, how to be the truly giving, the unconditional love that they can have, the contribution and the sharing, the unconditional side of the sign of Cancer. And we want to also change, the 2 months of both Gemini and Leo, the 2 months that are coming up. It says that it's 2 months that are not the easiest. So it's, just letting you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but Kabbalistically, the 2 months that are in front of us, the month of Tammuz and the month of Av, is usually not considered the most easy month on the physical level. But people that are connected to spirituality, people that are spiritual, are supposed to experience miracles, literally, miracles nonstop. But it says that there's a lot of coverings in the light that we receive in these 2 months. So we should be ready, and we should be making more and more connections, meaning more and more meditations, more and more elevation of consciousness that we want to do as much as possible to prepare. We definitely want to meditate with the Torah reading on Saturday morning, if you can, to listen to it, to listen to a lecture, to listen to a reading. This will give us a download to elevate our consciousness to a higher vibration that will give us the preparation and the light, the vessel we need to handle all the light that's coming up in these 2 months. So that's about jealousy, and that's about Korach. And it's something, again, attribute that only brings us down, only lowers our vibration, our consciousness, but there is a way to use it. There is a proper way to use it, which is thinking, I want more than that. I do not just want that, I want even more. I want so much more. And also, it says that whenever you try to take anything that's not yours, which the whole portion starts with words that says, and Korach took. It doesn't, obviously the parchment, the scroll, doesn't use a single extra word. It doesn't use a single extra letter, it says. Every letter that's in there has a meaning. So why does it use the terminology that he took something? It doesn't use it almost anywhere in the book. Besides that, took meaning something that is not yours, you have to take it by force. If something is truly yours, it's always going to be yours. It's going to come back to you. It's going to be yours forever. If you are trying to take something by force, by finding ways of taking it, instead of growing spiritually, you're only going to lose it. And you're going to end up like Korach, which basically didn't do his tikkun. So you never want to be in the state of mind that I want to take something. I want to know if it's truly mine, it's going to come into my life. It's going to come. The only thing I need to do is to elevate my consciousness. The closer I bring my consciousness to the light, to the creator, the faster that thing will come to me. Besides that, there's no real way of getting it. There's no way to really take it. Like it's like another commentary, it says the 10 Commandments, everyone knows that. And they're written in a very interesting grammatical way that when it says, do not steal, it actually doesn't say do not steal. Literally, it says no steal, no kill, no etc. So one of the Kabbalists says, why is it written that way? And the real ultimate secret is that there's actually no such thing as stealing or taking something that is not yours. If something is yours, it will be yours. It's meant to be yours. It will come to you. It's always going to be yours. So whenever you're connecting to the consciousness of worry, frustration, a lack, it's missing, I need it, I want more, etc., you're not attracting it. You're actually pushing it away. The more I focus, how else can I grow now? How can I change now? How can I transform now? How can I be a better person? How can I have more positive attributes? How can I bring more positive influence into this world, into others, into people that are into my life? How can I take care of them more? How can I be more caring about these people? The more you focus on that, the stronger the magnet of your blessings is going to be activated. Magnet of blessings, meaning it says that there's a magnet inside of us that is attracting all the blessings into our life. And our job is to remove the veil so that magnet works stronger. So when you think about it that way, that I want to purify and amplify my soul, my consciousness, so that my magnet, my soul, quote unquote, brings these blessings faster and faster into my life, that's what's going to happen. Okay? So it's very, very crucial, very important lesson from this week is the concept of jealousy, the concept of not taking things that are not really ours, You should only, not take, but you should only want things that are truly mine, that are truly mine. And there's a beautiful saying once that another Kabbalist shared, is that you should only be asking for your tikkun. That's all you should be asking for. The only thing that you should be asking, craving, and doing is your personal tikkun, because that's the only separation between you and the fulfillment that you're looking for. Okay? Our tikkun, our growth, our evolution, our development of our soul and consciousness. Okay? Okay, so that's part one. The other part of the class is I've been really blown away by this idea of how we label things, how we label them in our consciousness, and how Satan, how our opponent or our friend really can help or actually stops us from doing our spiritual work. So this idea of labeling, what do I mean by labeling? Is our consciousness is constantly registering and labeling everything that's going on around us, right? In physical reality, there's no good and bad. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as good and bad in the physical reality on its own. The concept, the idea of good and bad exists in my consciousness. This is where it only exists. This is the only place. Now, it is my choice to label something as negative or as positive. And the way I'm going to label it will determine what will happen to this situation, to this thing, to this activity, etc. The more I label things and mark them as something that is negative, I am completely limiting the amount of light, the amount of fulfillment, and the amount of growth I can receive from that instance, from that situation. Okay? So the more I have the term bad, negative, reactive, whatever other words you can use to describe the situation, the more I'm using it, the more coverings I'm creating, the more limits I'm creating from letting that situation bring light and bring fulfillment into my life. Very simple example. For example, our reactivity, our reactive nature, our things that we know, that we should know, that this is my reactivity, that this is how I am reactive. This is how, whether it could be anger, jealousy, laziness, procrastination, talking too much, not being careful, not being tactful, ignoring people, whatever it might be, whatever is my reactivity, what we call in Kabbalah. The more I label it reactivity, the more I prevent myself from really extracting light from it. So if I tell myself that my reactivity, if I have a column, whoever was in Kabbalah 1 class from Thursday, you heard this, but if it's a very good exercise to do, take a sheet of paper and divide it into 3 columns, draw 2 lines and divide it into 3 columns. And in one column, you write your proactivity. In the other one, write your reactivity. Label the column proactive, reactive, and my restriction. And you want to write down, what are my talents? What are my positive attributes? What are the things that I'm good at naturally that I should be increasing, right? Because we all have talents. We all have talents, like Korach, for example. He had a talent for business. He was a great businessman, and he was able to make a lot of sustenance and a lot of money. But his weakness was that he wanted something that didn't belong to him. So same thing in our life. You want to label what practically is my quote unquote reactivity. Is it snoozing? Is it again talking too much? Is it not being open, not being vulnerable? Is it going way too much after the physical? Whatever it might be. the more I label it as negative, the more I label it as bad, impure, the Yetzer Hara, whatever term you might be using, that you're using to describe it, you're actually, by labeling it as negative, you're already preventing yourself from transforming it. Very simple. Right away, you labeled it reactive, boom, you cut off all the light that you could get from this thing. So what you should do is you should make a list of all your reactivity and then change the name of the column from reactive to my opportunities, my potential, and my growth. That's how it should be called. That's how it should be labeled in your consciousness. What are my opportunities to change and transform? It's my procrastination. It's my laziness. It's my anger. It's my using too many words. It's whatever. It's being too physical. Whatever it might be. These are my opportunities. This is my ability. This is the gift that I have in order to become a higher and better version of myself, in order to do my tikkun. Also tikkun, if tikkun is, it feels a little heavy for you, use the term evolution. What are my evolutionary terms? I hope it's very clear, because it's very, very powerful when you start to do that. When you take off the label of reactive, negative, bad, limiting, whatever it is that you have in your mind, you take that label off and you put on it the proper label of what it truly is, which is truly, all those things are our opportunities, our potential, our growth, our evolution. This is what they really are. Total mind switch, completely switching your consciousness to look at the situation in a completely different way. You look at situation that if you label it as bad, negative, you're not seeing the big picture. You are disconnected. The more you say that, the more you are just proclaiming that you're disconnected from the big picture. That's it. That's all that it says. That's all that it means. The more I label and use the term negative, bad, horrible, horrendous, whatever it might be, you're limiting the amount of light that you're going to receive. We're not talking, obviously, about things that are directly, God forbid, if somebody's getting physically abused or all those things, that is obviously should not be happening at any time, obviously. We're talking more about closer to home, but also things that are out there. You can say, yes, this seems bad, but you want to ask yourself right away, what is the big picture in this situation? What is the big picture of this situation in my life? Why is it really happening in my life? Is there a deeper, more important secret, more important reason for why that situation is happening to me right now? Huge. It becomes a total game changer into how you evolve, how you do your spiritual work. To label all the things, to relabel everything that I label as, again, this kind of stupid word of reactive, negative, or bad, to stop using that. Stop using it, at least in your mind, or with other people also. That's my opportunity. That's my opportunity. Every time I hit the snooze button, it's just my opportunity. That's all I'm doing. What do I want to do? Do I want to take this opportunity to grow, or do I want to miss this opportunity? That's my choice. So then I literally look at myself completely different also. That in reality, there is no bad in us. There's no bad in you. There's no bad in me. There's no bad in general. Everything is for the good. It all depends on the perspective. If you look at the perspective, the ultimate perspective that we always want to have, the perspective that will help us, that is the true perspective, is the perspective of the Creator. The true perspective is the perspective of the Creator. When you look at something through the Creator's eye, through the Creator's consciousness, through the Creator's perspective, then things can come together. Then things fall into place. Then the puzzle pieces come together. Then everything is making sense into your life. You want to avoid using the term reactive, negative, bad, evil, whatever it might be. You want to completely learn, unteach yourself from using any of those terms. Totally, like start to. This is something that you need to do. Something that you actually need to do physically and practically. Is take a sheet of paper, write on the sheet of paper, what do you consider your reactivity, your reactive nature, your bad behavior, your limiting behavior, whatever it might be. You want to be detailed about it. Literally make a column and be detailed about it. And write next to it that this is my opportunity. This is how I earn light. You don't learn, you almost don't earn the highest light that you can earn is through those opportunities, those possibilities. It's not, there's no other way of, there's no other way to get that light besides it. So the more opportunities I have, the better. And every time I'm gonna come next to that situation, then I'm gonna remember, oh, this is my opportunity. What do I wanna do? Do I want to use this opportunity and grow? Or am I skipping it this time, which is also fine. We don't want to be crazy and, totally insane about it. So we want to re-educate ourselves on how we look at ourselves, look at all the different qualities that we have within ourselves. How do you look at them? How do you label them? How do you understand them? Do you understand the bigger picture of it? Do you fully ask yourself this question? I'm asking you this question right now. Do you fully understand the bigger picture of why I have certain attributes in my life? Do I understand? What is the bigger picture of this? If you don't, keep asking. It's totally fine not to know answers. But it's much better to ask the right questions. That's how you're going to get the answers. So I want to learn to ask the right questions about these opportunities. What am I doing about it? How can I be better about it? I can use Kabbalah. I can use literally YouTube has an endless amount of ways and information about anything in life, right? If I want to be more productive, go on Google, type how to be more productive. You're going to hear so many videos, so many different techniques, and then you're going to know, wow, so my time management skill, which I might be lacking, or my opportunity, actually, this is my ultimate opportunity. This is how I can start to work with this opportunity. You understand? That you're digging through, you're removing that disgusting perception of the opponent of labeling things as negative. This is the ultimate power. That's why it's called the trio of good and evil, meaning good or bad also it's called. Meaning whenever I'm labeling things as bad, I'm kind of shutting them off. I'm shutting them off from ever bringing light into my life. Everything in this world has the light in it, everything. All that makes the difference is your consciousness. If you look at things as they are negative, that's what they're going to be. If you look at things as opportunities, that's what they're going to be. They're going to be opportunities for you. Are you afraid of letting go? Are you afraid of moving on? That's actually your opportunity. You should practice this constantly. I'm letting go. I'm not afraid. No fear. No fear. The Creator will provide for me. There's better for me. That's definitely a lesson for the month of Cancer. Is one of their attributes is holding on to things and the fear of moving on and letting go and moving to your next phase. And that's something that we obviously want to practice. It's a very powerful spiritual attribute of letting go of even your perception, letting go of people, letting go of things, letting go of situations, letting go of even the most monetary, physical things, money, letting go of opinions, letting go of stubbornness, letting go, being okay. It's not the worst thing if I let go of it. It's not the worst thing. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if you let go of this. Letting go, being simple, being free from being chained to this, whatever it is that you are clinging onto. Let it go. Be free. Be totally independent. Be totally dependent on yourself. That's what you need to be dependent on, the creator and yourself. That's the ultimate providers for you in this world. Just like a relationship, you know, if you look at a relationship as something that you're going to get, it's usually not going to work. But if you're going to look at a relationship as a place, a platform where I can share, where I can contribute and give, the relationship changes. Of how can I help this person be more connected? How can I be more connected? And the whole idea of putting spirituality as the number one priority in your life, this is essential. The relationship between you and the creator, this is your ultimate relationship that you came into this world to transform and improve. There's nothing else. This is why you're here. We have so many distractions and so many things that distract us along the way. It's amazing. But in reality, that's the ultimate goal. It's like this beautiful story. I think it's from the Baal Shem Tov, where he tells a story about a time and an island where there's basically diamonds just laying on the beach. Diamonds, like, free for all. Take as many as you want. Huge rocks, huge stones for everyone. And this man who was very poor, a candle maker, he decides to go. He decides to get on a ship and go to this island. And he goes to this island, he onboards, and he starts collecting diamonds. He's just blown away. Oh my God, there's so many diamonds here. There's so much wealth, so much, wow, I'm gonna be rich. He makes his bag, he goes to board the ship again, and he sees that the ship is gone. And there's actually a lot of people there also that are with their bags, and some are native to the island and some are also new. And he asks the natives, and they're like, oh, the ship is not coming back for another year. So whatever diamonds you have now, they're not going to be really helpful right now. You have a year to survive, basically. And, some time goes by and they find out that he's the only candle maker in the whole island. And he becomes one of the most important people just because he makes candles. So this is a metaphor, and this is a story to remind us that when we come to this world, we forget why we're really here. We forget our mission. We forget our evolution, our opportunities, our improvements, our growth. We skip on that a lot. We look at the unimportant things way too much. And basically, the ship, end of the story is he comes back to his home and he comes back with like a few diamonds on it. They're like, what do you mean? What happened? I said, you know what? I was so busy making candles that I didn't even have time. I just got on a ship and ran, and I'm glad to be back. So we want to be asking, what is my mission? This is something that Rabbi Yitzhak Luria, the Ari, he says a lot of it in his writings, that you need to be asking yourself this question. Why am I here? What am I meant to do in this world? Why did I choose to come back? What happened in my past life? What happened in this life? There is no real thing as past lives, really. It's all one. But what am I here to evolve? What am I here to grow? What am I here to make better? What is my mission? What contract did I sign before coming into this physical reality to accomplish? What was my goal? And the beautiful thing about, spiritual contracts, this is very beautiful teaching. It says that any spiritual contract that you sign, like, for example, the contract between us and the creator, it also says a marriage contract, and different spiritual contracts, that whenever you sign them, it says the creator is right there present as you're signing them. And the creator provides you with everything that you need in order to fulfill that contract. So actually you are right away given all the necessary light in order to fulfill that mission, which is incredible, right? Like when you think about it. So meaning everything that you shouldn't be, again, being afraid of finding out what you're meant to do. is obviously Satan, is obviously bad, is obviously limiting. But in reality, the Creator gave you everything that you need, all the necessary tools in order to accomplish your goal, in order to accomplish what is it that you are meant to do in this world. So that's how we label, how we look at things, how we perceive them. Such a game changer. So beautiful, so amazing, so much more fun, so much more exciting, so much more uplifting, so much more positive when you look at those things as opportunities, as my gifts, as my blessings. Actually, those are my blessings. The place where I can transform, the place where I can change my nature. That's my blessings in my life. Not things that I take for, oh, that fell from the sky, that's a blessing. That's a free gift. You should accept it and you should feel like you didn't even earn it. But at the same time, the true blessings, the true positivity in your life is the things that we normally label as negative, as bad. The more I label, the more I use that term, the more I call something negative, the more I call something reactive, whatever term I use, I immediately lower all my vibrations, all my energy. I connect to the lowest level of my soul. You know, there's different levels of the soul. The higher up you go, the higher the vibration, the closer to the Creator you are. The higher levels of soul have the perception of the Creator installed in them. So the more I train myself to look at things in that way, the way higher souls look at it, the more I'm connecting to my higher level of soul, the more I'm connecting to my higher level of consciousness. The more I label things as negative, I'm connecting to the nefesh of nefesh, the lowest level of the soul that you could possibly be connecting to. The animal instinct, bad, negative, etc. This is the lowest vibration. So this is what we use meditation for. This is what we use the Zohar for, the Ana Bekoach, the 72 name, the study, the volunteering, the sharing, the charity that we do. Everything that we do is to help us be connected to that state of mind, of truth, of reality, of seeing everything as it is, which is good, which is what it is. Everything is good. So it's a beautiful tool, beautiful ability to have. Marina has a question. How do you know that you're done with a tikkun? That's a great question. So you feel different. Tikkun is very connected to how you feel about things, how your emotional state is, how your feelings are. So if something is still triggering you, this is a very powerful lesson from Kabbalah 1, the concept of the trigger, right? Situations, people, some things in life are triggers to us that cause us to react or feel a certain way. If you still feel a certain way about a situation, about a person, that means there's still a tikkun there. Very simple. If you feel tranquil, peaceful, and loving, that means the tikkun is done. But it's something that it's not might necessarily be obvious to your conscious mind. You might, if I ask you, do you love, accept, and feel peaceful about this person? You might say, yeah, of course, I love him. So it's not necessarily immediate. You want to go deep. You want to go deep. You want to see, okay, how am I really feeling inside? How am I really feeling about this person? How am I really feeling about this situation? How am I really feeling about this whole concept and idea? How am I really in it? That's something that, you know, you want to make sure that it's checking on your subconscious level, not necessarily on your conscious level. Your conscious level doesn't always see the truth. Your conscious level is only 5% of your mind, your consciousness. Your subconscious is 95%. And you don't always have the access to the 99%. But there are ways to do it. By the way, when you scan Zohar, you connect to your subconscious more. When you do meditation, etc., the different of brain waves, just so you know, the more frequent and faster are actually lower levels of brain waves. For example, alpha is the highest. It's everyday normal functioning. It's very fast. It's very fast. If you stay in it too much, you become anxious, you become worried, you become anxious, you become stressed, etc. The lowest one is delta, and then there is beta and theta. And beta and theta is the brainwave that you can connect to being awake and dreaming at the same time. So you're kind of like totally synced with your subconscious, but also awake at the same time. That's why going into a theta brainwave connects you to something that is not necessarily accessible to you on a constant basis. That's why it's very important to do it on a daily basis. From the morning, when you go to sleep, when you're sleeping, you're in a delta wave, which is total sleep, which is very calm, very slow waves, you know? And alpha is very fast, very anxious, boom, 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 constantly thinking. But that's, you know, this whole idea. And basically the more you're connecting to the light, the more your thoughts become at peace, the more relaxed they are, the more clear you are, the more focused you're going to be, the more positive you're going to be, the more optimistic you're going to be. Everything goes better when you connect to the light, and the light is constant. It's constantly at motion also, which is very interesting. Well, light is kind of, you can describe the light as still or in motion. It's kind of both at the same time. It's a little bit of a paradox for us to really understand it. So, main lesson of this week, again, avoid jealousy, the low side of jealousy, which is I just want that, and connect to the higher level of jealousy and say, I want 1,000,000 times more than that. I want so much more than that. I want all the light. I want all the light, not just to limit it to that. I want everything. And the second, and we're going to probably talk about this even more, but this idea of how we label things. To make a list, please do this homework. It's super easy, super quick, super transformative exercise. Take a sheet of paper and write down my reactivity. What is my reactivity? What are bad situations in my life? What do I consider negative, reactive, and bad? And write the whole list. Write the whole list. Write as much as you can, as detailed as you can. As detailed about with people, with yourselves, situations, whatever it might be. And then completely relabel and rename this list as my opportunity, my evolution, my growth, and my blessings. Completely mind-changing, completely changing your life. This will change your life, your perception completely. And have this list next to you and look at it as much as possible. Look, wow, this is my opportunity. Every time I skip, another piece of sugar, something that's not good, I'm actually winning. I'm connecting to my evolution. I'm doing a step of evolution. Every time I refrain from talking bad about somebody, wow, I'm actually connecting to my evolution, my higher self. I'm going to have more clarity, more lightness in my life when I do that. So the way you label things is essential. Disconnect from the negative labeling of things. Bad, negative, reactive, impure, whatever term you want to use, avoid it. Avoid it. Send it back to the light. Disconnect from it. Connect to the positive. Connect to the light. All good. It's all good. It's all opportunity. All a blessing. All an ability to do something in my life. All of it. So let's do a meditation. We'll do a meditation to help us connect with this consciousness, with this wisdom directly from the light. We're going to go into a theta brainwave if you want to do this meditation. So the way you do it is, it's very simple. It's much simpler than you think. And if you get lost, your intention is just to connect to the light. There's no hocus pocus about it. It's very simple. So you want to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths with your nose. And also make sure you're doing it with your belly, with your stomach. Do not use your chest. Take your breath and try to make your exhale longer than your inhale. And then you want to focus or concentrate your consciousness in your heart. And you want to send your consciousness to the core of the earth, the center of the earth, where there's infinite amount of energy, and the closest you can to the creator on the physical plane. and send this energy all the way through all the layers up and let it go through your bottom of your feet all the way to the top of your head, opening all the energy centers, filling your body fully and totally with light, new fresh energy of creation. And then you want to see that this energy is also feeding the beautiful ball of light that's above your head. And then pretend that you're in this ball of light and try to perceive everything around you through this ball of light. How it looks, how perfect everything is, how amazing everything is. And you want to watch and meditate as this ball of light starts to go above your body, starts to go above the building that you're in, starts to go and elevate above Earth, out of our solar system, and traveling faster than the speed of light, going through the entire universe to the edge of the universe, passing through the edge of the universe, and passing through layers and planes of light and dark, and coming upon a plane that is very, very bright, bright light. And then you keep going higher, and there's the top layer, the top part of this plane is golden hues, golden, relaxing, soothing hues. This is our spiritual home. This is where all the ascended masters are, all the spiritual giants are. If you want, you can actually invite any of your particular spiritual giants or Kabbalists or teachers into your bowl of light. And they can come with you to the Creator. And then you want to go to the next plane, which is liquid, thick liquid or jello-like. You want to enter this plane. And also keep going higher. You're constantly going higher, traveling up, 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 up. And you want to see that there's a beautiful shining in the distance, pearl-like light, beautiful, beautiful pearl-like light. Get up to this, get closer to this shining. Take a deep breath, and on an exhale, pass through the shining and enter the plane of the Creator. And the plane of the Creator looks beautiful pearl-like light with sparkling of pink and blue lights. You keep going higher, and then everything disappears. Everything just becomes one. There's no shapes. There's no bodies. It's just pure, pure energy. And this is the plane where all the wisdom, healing, love, unity, abundance, peace, joy originate from. This is the ultimate, this is the plane of the Creator of all that is. And here we can receive different consciousness lessons directly from the Creator. So first of all, what we want to do is connect to the ultimate essence of the Creator, which is unconditional love, which is the Creator. And if you want to connect to the perfect unconditional love of the Creator to every level of your soul, every level of your belief, every cell of your body, everything that you possess, say yes. So what we want to do is we actually want to amplify the attribute of optimism. You know, optimism, being optimistic, is a very powerful force, is a very powerful energy. And what we want to do and what we can do while being in this state is we can amplify attributes. So if you want to amplify the attribute of optimism, the attribute of certainty, the attribute of having a bigger vision in yourself, 1,000-fold through the Creator's light, say yes. And we want to receive the ability to see the blessings in everything. How does everything around us, in and outside of us, really serve us? How can it bring more and more blessings into our lives? So you want to, if you want to receive that download, the ability to see the blessings in everything around us, say yes. And we want to awaken our memory of why we're here. What is our ultimate goal, mission, activity, joy that we're meant to do here? So if you want to awaken this memory within you, also say yes. And before we read a section of the Zohar, to really connect, to ultimately connect to the Creator, to light up Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Elijah the Prophet, or Ganuz, bring light of blessings into our life, we want to meditate to bring light of unconditional love, abundance, peace, joy, healing from the Creator to every level of our soul, to us and this whole planet. If you want to do that, say yes. Now we're going to read a section of the Zohar. You can keep your eyes closed, connecting to the light of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. גם רבי אלעזר ואמר, לך קדם דגלו ישראל ושכינתה דמי חבו, מקיימין שילוך חכן. אמר לית רבי שמעון, ברי, בגין להתרה רחמין על עינון נפשין ורוחין ונשמתים דחבו אזלין בגלותה בלגולה מתארקין מגופכון דהתחברכו דאליהו יתמר דקדוש ברוך הוא בונה עלמין חווה ומחרבן השתערו חרבון גופכון מיניכו ומנח דבריקה לילה גרים ונחר חרב ויבש וחכי יוקמוכו יתחרב בית ראשון, והארץ הייתה תוכו ובוכו יכרחן בית שני, ותוכו פני תחון ובגין אילן נשמתים יתבריאו קדם דהתברא עלמה ולית לון גופין בגין להתערה רחמי אליהו חבו מקמי חי פיקודה. Okay, everyone, hope you're going to have an amazing week. Make sure you join all the classes, keep studying, keep meditating, keep sharing, keep being on a high vibration, on a positive vibration, on an optimistic mindset, on a confident mindset. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you all in a week.